Hey everyone, welcome back to Automation. So today I'm testing out some new things. As you probably have noticed, my face is on the screen, as awkward as that is. I am very awkward and I also look tired all the time, so I apologize in advance. I think I'm probably going to use this more for my weekly streams, but I figured today I'd test it out in a video as well. So let me know what you think of it. Is the webcam something that I should keep, or should I just keep it for streams? Today is an exciting day because I get to tell you about this sticker right here. Now you've probably seen them before, it is not me actually presenting them most likely. They're currently 10% off with code BUGO at checkout. That makes them under $5 US, and that includes taxes and shipping. So yeah, I'll send them all over the world. I handle it all in-house. I actually ship these out myself and I package them myself as well. The sale lasts all the way up until Christmas Day. If you want to get it for Christmas, I would suggest ordering it sooner than later. Shipping, at least worldwide, is sometimes not really reliable. But I think it comes to the US in about a week. So yeah, thanks guys. I will hope to see some more orders from you. I think so far I've done 53 orders of varying quantities of stickers, and for all of those people, the people who have ordered stuff, I am incredibly thankful. Oh yeah, I should show you this shirt that I'm wearing. It says Boosted Brothers, at least I think it does. If you actually know Japanese, please tell me, but that's what Google Translate told me it means. But this used to be merch that I had on my channel at one point through Teespring, but I ended up getting rid of it because I felt it was too expensive. And that's kind of where the stickers come in. Like, I've tried to make them as cheap as I possibly can while still making a little bit of profit on them. Like, to be honest with you, I don't make that much, but it's enough to justify doing it. So I'm hopeful to continue to sell them, in fact to sell out of them so I can try a new design. But until then, let's get into the video. So you've probably seen the title, and yeah, that's exactly what I plan to do. Let's make a modern Magnum Opus, which I already have many of at this point, but let's do it with really crappy, old-style tires, because I feel like that can be a lot of fun. So yeah, let's go. It's been a long time since I made a Magnum Opus. I think the last one was here, the Black Carbon Edition, and then previously the Sahara Edition. Oh man, I have a few of these, don't I? For the purposes of this video, I'm going to be working with the original Magnum Opus V3, which is a 1-to-1. And I don't think we need to do much with the engine, but in terms of style, I think we should revitalize it just a little bit and then get on to the testing. So this car already has issues with wheel spin, which is going to serve us very nicely, because old tires are terrible and we're not going to be able to have traction at all. In fact, I think I should probably just go ahead and sort that out right now. Crossply is the name of the game, and as you can imagine, they don't go particularly wide, especially with rims of this size. So let's go down to 19s, then we can get a little bit more width, but it's basically going to be wagon wheels from here on out. What I would equate this to is kind of like having drag tires on your car, except not the good slick kind, it's the skinny front tires that I'm talking about. And I mean 4 corners of them. I think this thing is all-wheel drive. If it's not, then we're gonna make it. Yeah, okay, all-wheel drive, but my goodness, the graph is probably all over the place. Yeah, we are deep into oversteer territory with 0 drivability and 0 sportiness, and probably blowing out tires and stuff, which is great. Downforce is too high, oversteer, lovely. I am going to stick with the semi-slicks because I feel like without that we're probably going to die. Okay, I fixed the blowout issue by having 205s. To put that in perspective, 205s are currently the size that I have on my Tibron, but those are the same wheels that I came with my Infiniti G35. So we have a 950 horsepower, crazy like hypercar basically is what this is, with wheels that you would find on a basic sort of sporty sedan. And even then, those are pretty thin wheels because on the coupes you get wider wheels. And I mean, I was spinning wheels on my Infiniti G35 with these all the time, so yeah, this is going to be a disaster, but that's kind of the point. Back over to style, I think we should make some concessions to this car to try and make it a little bit older looking, and then maybe have some fun with that. So first thing to change is going to be the rims. Oh yes, boys, it's going to have white walls. Yes, I feel like white walls are the answer to all of my problems. White walls on the Magnum Opus is something I never thought I would see, but I honestly don't hate it. It's not as bad as it seems, although I'm going to change this right now so I don't get this mixed up. Magnum Opus Classic Edition with a clone of the original engine. Now that's what I like to see. The purple is classic and I don't want to change it, but I am going to modify the wheel color because otherwise it's just going to be, I don't know, maybe a little bit too blending in. I want to see these rims. So they're going to be chrome, because of course they're going to be chrome. Everything has to be chrome now. This is an old car. Oh, what's this? All the trim is chrome? Oh, this is a whole new look that I wasn't getting into now. I was not expecting the entire interior to be chrome as well. I guess I forgot that I've made everything carbon fiber. You know, I don't hate it that much. It's not that bad. It could be worse, and it will be in about 2 seconds. Because I'm also going to change the secondary color to chrome, which is, wow. I don't hate it, honestly. I don't hate it. It could be better, and it will be better, but it's not that bad. Oh my goodness, the red is actually brilliant. I don't, wow. I don't really know what to say. Pure white. Ooh, that's not bad. That's really nice. Maybe a slightly lower shine. Goodness. Oh my goodness, my eyes. This is beautiful. I think one of the Magnum Opuses I've made previously has been similar in color to this, but goodness. Okay, let's go for that, but the slightly more minty version, and then I'm going to leave it just as is. So that's the entire body colored that color, and then even the secondary paint is currently that, with chrome trim, chrome wheels, and the brakes, let's just make them black so that they blend in. Okay, so I managed to get the rim size up to 17, which blocks a little bit more of the tire, and I gotta say that looks brilliant. I'm very, very happy with that. One thing though that I am thinking of is this white probably won't turn out in beamng, so we're gonna have to make some changes, although I think that these rims do have a version that is paintable, and so I'm gonna use that instead. Okay, there we go. So the white walls are now pure white, and I made them wrinkle paint, so they should have a little bit of texture to them, as you can see there. So that should actually show up in game, which is going to be great. So the rest of it being chrome is pretty nice. The minty color is beautiful, and now I think we need to make some old-timey adjustments. So the engine is currently red, and that's just, I mean, it's not going to work. It needs to be something better. In this case, the weirder, the better. Maybe just this like off shade of blue without any flake. I think that's gonna work nicely. Oh yeah, and the classic version of that as well. That's exactly what I want to see. And just so you're aware, this is a big lad. It's a 60-degree V12, 6 liters, and it happens to have 951 horsepower. Just what I like to see. Okay, so we have the paint sorted. On to the rest of things. I don't want to take too much away, but I do want to add in the right places. And this car, in my mind, is notoriously difficult to change because the way that it is, it's like nice, simple, and elegant. And whenever I modify it, I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to ruin that. So let's ruin it on purpose. I'm going to take away the iconic wing, the ones that I really like the layering of. Without it, it looks a little bit naked, so we're gonna try and improve that. Oh man, I'm just going hipster look, aren't I? And then, you know, the best part about putting it in 3D is we can do stuff like this. Oh yeah, straight out of Forza now. Oh, that is really, really nice. Now I'm going to be spending 5 hours designing this instead of messing with it the way that I was intending to in Beam. But we'll still do that, don't worry. Okay, so what I would equate this to at the moment is it kind of looks like an old appliance, which is basically the idea. So I feel like I'm doing that correctly. I'm talking like your great-grandmother's fridge in the 50s. That's the kind of color scheme we've gone for here. good lord, that thing is wide. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep that and move on to some other pieces because I can't dwell on this too much. Oh my goodness, I just had a brilliant idea. Okay, so you know how a lot of old cars have blocked off wheels? Let's block off the rears. I know that having them stick out is kind of cool, but I don't know. I feel like I want to at least try that. Okay, there used to be some pieces specifically to block off wheel wells, and I can't find them, so I'm just gonna have to make my own. Never mind, it looks terrible. I'm gonna scratch that idea. However, I do want to do something with the fenders, so I think I'm gonna bulge them out a little bit. I think I did this on the Sahara as well, but there are quite a few options for this. So a slight wide body kit, why not? Okay, I'm experimenting with a bit of an idea here, and I know I wide-bodied the previous version of this thing, but look at that. Like, what on this earth? I just like the way that it looks when it's underneath like that, so I feel like I'm gonna try and get it even wider. The wider the better at this point, really. Oh goodness, this is even better. Oh yes. Oh my goodness, no. Yeah, I have some work to do. This might take a while. Okay, I'm just gonna say this right now, but the quickest way to my heart is a well-made wide-body kit, and that is exactly what I'm attempting to do. It's totally unique, my own design, and also strange. And that's just me. So this video was originally just supposed to be me making a Magnum Opus as a test bed for crossply tires, and now all of a sudden it's transformed into the Magnum Opus Classic with a custom-made wide-body kit and fridge-like aesthetic. A little bit different than what I had originally envisioned, but I cannot complain. So let's keep it up. If you didn't notice before, I made the entire interior also this color because, yeah, obviously everything needs to be bluish sea green mint. Okay, time for some work on the other body molding stuff. Basically, I'm gonna wrap around this front and also on the back, and then hope for the best in terms of how it lines up with the hood and such. Now, I understand that box fenders are supposed to go in the back and also facing the back, but I feel like this is just a lot more interesting. Does it make sense? No, but it doesn't have to. Okay, I kind of just realized the worst part about this webcam thing, and that is that you actually have to watch me laugh at my own jokes now. I'm sorry. Okay, so the Magnum Opus is looking fairly thick at the moment, which is nice. I have a little bit of tweaking to do, just some small stuff here and there that needs to be touched up, but other than that, it's it's coming along well. In terms of the actual testing, I mean, it's basically the same as the regular Magnum Opus, except obviously tires. We know it's going to be slower, but I'm going to try and tune it for these tires and see if that helps at all. Yeah, it's going to be awkward, but awkwardness is, again, my specialty, so maybe I can make something out of this. Okay, after a couple of changes, I think it's ready to go. It is wide, real wide, and unfortunately underneath it doesn't really show it, but this is what we've got to work with. So let's see if we can make it actually drive. Now that's going to be the big challenge about this, because of course driving is the whole point, or at least it originally was. I'm kind of happy with this design though. I feel like it's pretty decent. Let me know obviously what you think of it in the comments. I'm very interested to know if you guys actually like the stuff I make or not. Sometimes I'm not so sure. Okay, so we got strong oversteer, downforce at top speed is too high, causing the suspension to bottom out. I don't think I'm going to do anything about that. And then severe issues with wheel spin. Yeah, there's not much we can do about that either. So, alright, let's see what we got. So it thinks it'll do 439.2, which is decent. Spacing, I mean, it's only 25% wheel spin, all of it in first gear, second gear, and maybe third gear, all the way up to 200 kilometers an hour, which is great. Power distribution is, well, we'll make that even. just to hopefully help with that wheel spin a touch, although apparently it made it worse. I feel like this is just gonna have to stay as is. I want to keep the gearing the same just to keep things fair, so that's what I'm going to stick with. And everything else here is the same as well. So obviously tires are crossply, which ruins the entire car. Maybe I'll make a version that has good tires because this one's just going to be crap, but that's okay. 17-inch rims is what I've ended up landing on, and we have basically the biggest wheels we can get with the most offset we can get within reason. Keep in mind, of course, that this car is plus 15 quality everywhere, so yeah, shouldn't be much of a problem. The braking, what the heck is this? That is a bit of a disaster. It's going to stop, which is good, but there is something wrong with this, and we will probably find out what it is soon. Maybe it just doesn't have enough traction to brake, because that is just disgusting. Obviously, we want the biggest discs we can get, and obviously, again, this car is going to struggle with any sort of grip, so we have to make sure that the brakes are going to be strong enough. As is, they are very, very strong, so hopefully that'll work. We do have a decent amount of downforce. If I just took away these wing angles, I mean, we still have a lot of downforce, and it's not going to bottom out anymore, so I guess I fixed that somehow. Alright. The strong oversteer and stuff we're not going to be able to fix, but everything else here can stay the same. It doesn't have power steering, which is very awkward, and I'm going to actually give it an ESC to reduce wheel spin. But the oversteer, there's no fix in that. Just to give it a little bit of an advantage, I'm going to lower the weight of the stuff here. I mean, lower quality does that apparently, so that'll be fine. And then everything here, again, I'm going to leave the same because the suspension tuning on this car was decent back in the day. So let's take this thing to BeamNG and see how bad it really is versus the other Magnum Opus. Alright, so I figured that today, oh my goodness, I forgot how to shift in this game. What is down again? Okay, X is down, A is up. That's how it works. But yeah, so we're here in BeamNG. I figured that today I would jump into BeamNG and play on a different map than I usually do to test out this car. Because almost always I test things out in the grid map. But this time, let's go to the automation test track and give it a run. Alright, this is the Magnum Opus Classic Edition. You can see the wrinkle paint has not come out great. I probably should have just left that as actual paint instead of trying to give it a texture. You'll notice as well that the exhaust is smoky, which is nice. Oh man, that wrinkle paint really ruins it. But other than that, the car looks great, and I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. The fuel consumption is a little bit off the charts there. Don't worry about it, that's just part of the deal. Let's go for a drive. Oh yeah, I forgot this thing's a dual clutch. Oh no. Well, at least I don't have to worry about shifting. Oh my goodness, it is a disaster on the road. And there goes all the bodywork into the water too. You know, considering it has 205 tires, I mean the ESC is doing a lot of work to keep us alive, but it actually doesn't wheel spin that bad. I feel like I'm gonna eat those words in like 3 seconds once I turn it off. There's sport mode, there's ESC off. Let's see. Oh, not even that bad actually. I'm gonna say that it probably won't turn very well because the grip in the front isn't great. Oh yeah, okay. It's wheel spin in every gear, every single second of the day. There is nothing I can do to stop it except just not drive at all. You know, it's kind of fun though. It is fun. Okay, so we're in ESC Sport. I'm gonna attempt to do a lap of the automation test track. If I can make it there, ESC Sport allows for a little bit of wheel slippage, but not too much. The car is incredibly twitchy, which is not helping my cars at all. Come on, oh no. Oh, that's a little bit rough. Let's get into this place properly and see if I can do something. So my routine issue is losing all the bodywork. And then my second routine issue is that the brakes are so strong that when the ESC locks them up, it pulls the car in various directions, which is always a good sign. Okay, so here's what the chassis looks like without any of that added bodywork. And you know, it's pretty darn clean as is. It wouldn't be bad just as this setting is. But I mean, I added all that bodywork for a reason. I like the style. Ultimately, I just like how the Magnum Opus looks overall. It's my car for a reason, right? It's the Magnum Opus. Driving it like this quickly is a challenge, but as long as I'm taking it easy, it's not too bad. I mean, the actual car is a bit of a handful as well, because it's got a lot of power and not a lot of weight. The actual ratio is 1-to-1, so yeah. Oh no. Into this corner, obviously we can't hold it on the wall, just not enough grip. But I can pretend, I guess, and we'll dodge the short circuit, get into the long. Oh man, I'm gonna try another lap after this without any ESC and see if I can hold on to it. Now you want to know something interesting? Obviously this car is all-wheel drive, so we have a significant saving grace. If it was not all-wheel drive and it was instead rear-wheel drive, this would be a wheel spin beast to the max. There would be no saving it. Like right now it feels like I'm driving on ice. If it was rear wheel drive, I don't think I'd be able to even contend with the amount of power we have. It would just do donuts. I would have to drive extremely slowly. It would be like a first gen Viper, but just add power and then put on the wheels of a Camry. Like that's pretty much what happens here. Okay, still in sport mode, except with no ESC. I feel like it'll be less twitchy, but more capable of sliding, which is exactly what I'm experiencing. Okay, that did not last long. I'm just gonna keep it going as is. I mean, we don't need bodywork to drift, do we? I guess that's kind of the point of bodywork, is to take the hit so we don't have to, but yeah, it's not enough. So yeah, overall conditions are as expected. The car is worse than it was, and I am not particularly surprised by that. So what can we do with it then, even though it's an absolute disaster on the road? Look at it. That's pretty much it. I'm okay with that. So this is what the other most recent version of the Magnum Opus looks like. Obviously it's all carbon fiber, and therefore in beamng it looks like it's made out of Lego. But what I wanted to do just for fun is to show you what this thing looks like in comparison to that thing around the track. Obviously this one is tuned a little bit better. It has way more power, although I don't remember exactly how much. And yeah, it's got bodywork to end all bodywork. Let's go for a spin. Oh my goodness, it's actually a manual. What have I created? I'm not used to driving something that actually can drive. Okay. Never mind. All-wheel drive again, we get that understeer. It's kind of funny that the last version of this said that it would have terrible oversteer problems, but it kind of has terrible understeer problems. Don't mind me as I skip that corner. I just did not slow down at all for that. This car very clearly has understeer problems, but again, all-wheel drive, so that is to be very expected. Now something, oh man, we should have taken that old corner there. That is an excellent corner. But something that should be expected is to be able to understeer. Okay, this is the lesser of the good corners of the banking. I feel like we should go around this track one more time and hit that bank curve just for funsies. But yeah, overall, Magnum Opus Carbon Edition, okay, better at hitting walls than the other car. That's all I'm going to say there. So now comes the time where I ask you your opinion on this. Let me know what you think of this crossply demon in the comments. Should I fix it and put better wheels on it? Should I turn it into a drift car? It's obviously not made for the track, or anywhere actually for that matter. It's having a hard time just being alive, which is not a great sign. I gotta admit though, as scary as it is, it's also a lot of fun, and it's actually not that half bad a drift car. I think if I made it rear wheel drive, it might have been even easier to get around some of these corners this way. I'm not a great drifter though, so somebody with better control can do better than I can, obviously. Well yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this webcam thing, let me know. Obviously this is just an experiment, just to see what it's like. Yeah. I don't need any comments like, hey, this guy is not the way that I expected him to look or something like that. It's like, alright, I got it. But overall, let me know what you thought of it. And yeah, don't be afraid to check out the Bugo stickers on my website. The payments are handled through Stripe, so you kind of have to use credit or PayPal or something like that. But if that doesn't work for you, just let me know, and maybe we can work something out. But yeah, I'll see you guys again in the next video. And now for something extra special. And so to end off this video, I thought it would be fitting to read off the advanced supporter names, but in a different way, I guess. I'm looking at the camera instead. I kind of have most of them memorized, but I'll glance anyway to make sure I don't miss any. So we have Overlord, QT Bear, Terry Williams, G.A. Pope, Davis Heister, The German Dude, Mickey K1, Sleep64, Jug, Childish Sin, Antisocial, and Jared. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody, but thank you everybody for your support. In addition to Bugo stickers and such, this is the best way to support me. I appreciate you guys a lot, and yeah, look forward to seeing you more on streams and on videos. And I apologize for the last Forza ones that I haven't been continuing with this tradition. I just kind of took a break from it, probably shouldn't have, but we're back, so let's keep it up.